Yes, my name is Pooja Sharma and today I am here again with this new video where we are going to discuss the important history news from the month May of 2025. So every month we are going to have this chain that we are going to discuss monthly the current affairs of each and every subject. So let's start with our news. So let's see which important news we are going to cover today. So the first we are going to discuss about a new Paleolithic site which have been discovered in Faridabad, Haryana. So we are going to discuss that in detail. Then we are going to discuss another Baoli in Mehrauli, Delhi, in which restoration work has been done. Now we are going to discuss that also in detail. Then we are going to discuss the Raman festival of the Garhwal, Uttarakhand in detail. It is also one of the UNESCO's World Heritage Site, intangible World Heritage Site. And then we are going to discuss the Karni Mata temple because in the May month of 2025, our Prime Minister has visited Karni Mata temple. It is also known as a temple with the thousands of rats. So this temple is famous for, there are actually 20,000 rats. The moment you enter the compound of the temple, you will see a lots of rats, and spotting a white rat is considered as sacred. Then we are going to discuss another important article, which is the sword of the Raghuji Bhonsle. Why we are discussing that? Because there was an auction in London and we have again recovered this sword. This sword belongs to a Maratha Sardar. His name is Raghuji Bhonsle. He is the one who actually started the Bhonsle clan, not the original one of the Shivaji, the Bhonsles of Nagpur. So the lineage or the Rajas of Bhonsles of Nagpur, this lineage is going to start from Raghuji Bhonsle only, and his sword was somehow reached London because Britishers ruled us, but now eventually they have put it on auction and we have recovered that sword in a very timely manner. Next we are going to know about Ahilya Bai Holkar, very important news. Very important, why? Because now there is a 300 birth anniversary is there. Okay. So 31st in May only we have the birth anniversary of Ahilya Bai Holkar, but this particular year 2025 is considered as the year where we are witnessing the 300th year of birth of the year of Ahilya Bai Holkar. So let's start each and every news one by one. The first is your Munger Bani prehistoric site. So where is this Munger Bani first of all? So you can see that this is your Delhi, okay, and this complete map is your Delhi NCR map. So in Delhi NCR we know that Delhi is also there, Gurgaon is also there, Faridabad is also there. So this is actually your Delhi and this is your Faridabad region. So almost on the border of the Delhi and Faridabad, we can have this site. Okay, this site is there. This is Munger Bani. Why Bani? Bani is actually a very local term which is being used for one that is your forest. Okay, so these are the sacred forests of that particular area, and in those forests we have Aravali hills. Okay, we all should be knowing that Aravali hills are there till Delhi. Okay, even in the Delhi you can see the Raisina hills. Okay, the president house is also there in the remnants of your Aravalis. So Aravalis reach Delhi, and in Gurgaon obviously you can easily look at the small hills of the Aravalis. In those small hills we have this particular prehistoric site which is known as Munger Bani. Bani means one, but all is there. So first of all we should be knowing that this particular site belongs to lower Paleolithic culture. देखो इसके बाद के कल्चर के भी एविडेंस हमें मिलेंगे, बट जो अर्लीस्ट एविडेंस हमें इस पर्टिकुलर साइट में मिले हैं प्री हिस्टोरिक साइट में, दैट इज योर लोअर पेलियोलिथिक. इट मींस आफ्टर दैट देयर विल बी द मिडल एंड द अपर वन. सो वी कैन सी दैट इट इज वन ऑफ द अर्लीस्ट प्री हिस्टोरिक साइट इन आवर कंट्री. ओके, प्री हिस्ट्री में भी जो पेलियोलिथिक है उसका भी जो हमारा फर्स्ट पार्ट है, फ्रॉम देयर वी आर हैविंग दिस पर्टिकुलर साइट. Important things which we should be knowing about this site is, first of all, we have found so many of artifact and these stone tools. Prehistoric man was using stone tool only. So we have found so many of stone tools here, and these stone tools are actually considered as the very old stone tool. And we can also see that it is also known as oldest known tool making site in North India, because these stone tools are so much. They are in so many numbers in that site that we can easily infer from these numbers of stone tools that there is a possibility that this particular site was a tool making site in North India. And we know that it belongs to lower Paleolithic culture. So we can say that it is one of the oldest one, and potentially it can be actually the oldest tool making site in our country. We all know about Bhimbetka, Adamgarh hills and all. The majority of these hill areas are there in the Madhya Pradesh, where we have found these prehistoric sites. But now again the oldest prehistoric site is again moving to north, that is in your Haryana. So that is very important. Other than that, you can see that these are the important images which are taken from that particular site, and you can see easily, we can see that we have the evidence of prehistoric paintings also. प्रीहिस्टोरिक पेंटिंग, देखो पेंटिंग्स जो है, जो प्रीहिस्टोरिक पेंटिंग है वो स्टार्ट होती है आपकी अपर पेलियोलिथिक में, अपर पेलियोलिथिक में. So these paintings are from upper Paleolithic time period, they are not from the Mesolithic. But obviously we can find the paintings from the later periods also, but the earliest one which we are finding in this particular site is the paintings from your upper Paleolithic period. देखो जो prehistoric painting है, they are majorly associated with the Mesolithic age, but in upper Paleolithic period also we can have the start of the prehistoric paintings. So these paintings actually belongs to that particular time period, and we can also see that it is the first ever site discovered in the Aravalli range which contains these cave paintings. We have cave painting in Vindhyachal, in Satpura hills, but this is the first time we are having these cave paintings in the Aravalli hills, in the remnants of the Aravalli hill also. So this is what makes this particular site very, very important for your UPSC examination. Okay, let's look at the another news. In that particular news, you only need to understand this much which I have already told you. You need not to delve into the kind of the artifacts or the kind of the tools which we have found at this particular site. You should be knowing that this particular site belongs to your lower Paleolithic period. First of all, we have our second thing. Where is the Munger Bani? It is in Haryana, Faridabad. If there is a question, if there is an option that it has discovered in Delhi NCR, even after that it will be correct. Don't even have that much focus on Faridabad Haryana. अगर दिल्ली NCR भी लिखाएगा तो भी हम आंसर दिल्ली NCR लिखेंगे, बट इन पर्टिकुलर स्पेसिफिकली अगर फरीदाबाद हरियाणा आता है तो वी कैन मेंशन दैट आल्सो. तो ये जो साइट है वो फरीदाबाद पे बिलोंग करती है और दिल्ली NCR का भी पार्ट मानी जा सकती है. ठीक है, उसके अलावा वी शुड बी नोइंग दैट इट बिलोंग्स टू, इट इज देयर ऑन द अरावली हिल्स. It is a sacred grove, and along with that we should be knowing that we have found these paintings in this particular part, and for the first time in Aravallis we have found cave paintings. Okay, so the location and all these informations are the only thing which you need to remember. Now let's come to the next news, which is the Rajon ki Bawali in your Mehroli Delhi. Mehroli is there in your South Delhi. ठीक है, South Delhi में आपका मेहरौली पड़ता है. Mehroli is very old town, old Delhi town, and you can find many old structures in Mehroli, and one of that old structure is Rajon ki Bawali. ठीक है, you should be knowing that what is the meaning of this Bawali. Bawali is nothing but a step well. ठीक है, इसको जो step well होता है उसी को हम बावली बोलते हैं. By the look only you can see that this is a restored version. ठीक है, ये restored version है. So Archaeological Survey of India actually have decided to restore this particular site with the budget of 1 crore, and the budget is being provided by the World Monument Fund along with the TCS Foundation. But the main organization which was looking after this restoration was the Archaeological Survey of India. So this particular Bawali actually belonged to Lodhi period. Okay, so Lodhi period की Bawali है, and now we have restored. So it was built in around 1506 CE. ठीक है. Other than that, you should be knowing that it was built by Daulat Khan Lodi. Daulat Khan Lodi is in the time period of the Sikandar Lodi. He himself is just one of the officer. He was not the king at that point of time, but he is the one who has commissioned this particular Bawali in this particular area. You should be remembering that it belongs to Lodi dynasty, and it was commissioned by Lodi Khan Lodi, but it was being constructed during the time period of the Sikandar Lodi. Okay. Here in this particular enclosure, we don't only have this Bawali, along with that we have one mosque and a tomb also. Why it is known as राजाओं की बावली? It is not the राजा, राजाओं की बावली नहीं है ये. These are राजाओं word is actually derived from the word राजमिस्त्री. Okay? राजमिस्त्री is actually a mason. Okay? जिसने, अच्छा मेसन भी ये नाम इसलिए नहीं रखा कि जिसने इसको बनाया है उसके नाम पे हमने रख दिया. नो, विद टाइम दिस पर्टिकुलर कम्युनिटी, मेसन कम्युनिटी came in this area and they established themselves around this area only. Only after that this particular Bawali is known as Rajon ki Bawali. Okay? So it got its name into early 20th century, much after it was already built, because of the masons that moved permanently into that area. So its name was given much later. The popular name of this particular Bawali was given much later. So in this particular news, you should be knowing that where is it, okay, from which period it belonged to, and along with that you should be knowing that who was the king at that point of time in general, right? Let's come to the next news. Next news is your Raman festival. Okay, it is also the Raman festival. If my pronunciation is right, it is Raman festival. It belongs to Garhwal, Uttarakhand. Okay. Garhwal is actually a region in Uttarakhand. There are basically two regions in Uttarakhand. One is your Garhwal, another one is your Kumaon. Almost in the eastern side you have Kumaon, and on the western side you have your Garhwal. So this is a particular festival that belongs to that particular state and that particular region, and this actually belongs to two important villages. ठीक है, तो ये जो हमारा एक रिलीजियस फेस्टिवल है, ये रिलीजियस फेस्टिवल होता है सलूर डूंगरा. देयर आर टू विलेजेस इन द गढ़वाल हिमालयस एंड देयर फ्रॉम देयर इट हैज ओरिजिनेटेड. यहाँ से ये ओरिजिनेट हुआ है. व्हाई इट इज आल्सो नोन एज रिलीजियस फेस्टिवल. This religious festival is celebrated every year after Baishakhi in this particular area, and this festival is being celebrated to commemorate one particular devata, and devata is Bhumiyal Devata. Bhumiyal Devata is actually local devata of the people of these two villages, right? So there are so many devata culture is there in Uttarakhand. That's why it is known as Deva Bhumi, and one of that devata is Bhumiyal Devata. To remember the devata or to worship the devata, this particular festival was being celebrated by the people of the Garhwal, and during that particular festivities there was performance of theatre, music, dance and etc. So Raman festival is a festival that Raman dance is also there. It is not only a dance, it is a theatre also, dance also, music. It is a combination of the local folk art all together, and they celebrate it in that way. So, interestingly, in 2009, this Raman was inscribed in the list of UNESCO's intangible cultural heritage of humanity also. So, they have this particular mask which they wear with them. So, this mask is a half human and half lion. Half human का है और half lion का है. So, why they have this mask? By wearing this mask, some people are going to wear this mask and they are going to narrate a story. Okay, this is how most of our ancient or the medieval theater have emerged. Folk theater, mostly जो folk theater हमारे इंडिया में होते हैं, उसमें जो stories होती हैं, they dance, they sing, and they either have some mask or they have some other kind of makeup, and they narrate the stories mostly from the mythological books. Okay. So most of these stories are from mythology. So if you want to go into the detail, the festival is organized by the villagers, and each caste and occupational group has a distinct role in this particular festival. So it is being celebrated by all, but one particular caste has one particular duty. For example, the Brahmanas are obviously going to perform the rituals and the prayers. The Bhandaris, who are the Kshatriyas of that particular area, they are the one who can only wear this mask. Okay, they are the only one who are entitled to wear this secret mask, and this mask actually represent half man, half lion of Hindu deity, that is our Narsingha, right? And there is a family also. So every year one family has to host the devata. So the family who is going to host the devata, they have to adhere to strict rules and regulation, and their daily routine has to be properly managed. Okay? So this is how these people celebrate, okay, these particular times. वैसे तो ये बैसाखी के बाद होने वाला फेस्टिवल है, when in most of our country we have this local festival, but this particular Raman festival has some sort of art and cultures element is also associated with it. So very important again, because it is a part of UNESCO's intangible World Heritage Site also. Now let's come to our next news, which is your Karni Mata temple in your Rajasthan. So it is there in Bikaner. ठीक है, बीकानेर में है आपका टेम्पल. दिस इज योर टेम्पल. दिस टेम्पल इज इन exactly in Deshrok, Bikaner in Rajasthan. Basically, you should please remember that you should be remembering that it belongs to Rajasthan. So, who was this Karni Mata? So, she was actually there in 14th and 16th century when the Bhakti movement was very much prevalent in North India at that point of time, and she was a female mystic saint of Rajasthan, just like Mirabai. Mirabai was also from Rajasthan. She was also a mystic saint. She was also a poet, and she was also one of them. So Karni Mata is also one of such Bhakti saint at that point of time. But the present structure of the building is built by the Maharaja Ganga Singh of Bikaner in 20th century. So the temple is a very new temple, but the person to which this temple belong, right? That she is the person only. Right now she is a deity, but at that point of time she was a person, but she had the deity kind of or the goddess kind of quality. That's why the people are worshipping her. Revered as an incarnation of the goddess Durga, and followers belong to the Charan community. Charan community वही community होती है जो राजाओं के जो राज दरबार होते थे उसमें they used to sing their poems, their songs and all. So they are the one who are traditionally associated with poetry. Along with that, the folk religion and the cattle rearing also. What is the unique feature of this particular temple? It is the worshipping of rats. So the temple is famous for thousands of rats called kabbas. ठीक है, को बोलते हैं kabbas. And if you are going to look at if you are going to spot a white rat during your visit, then it is being considered as very, very sacred or auspicious, right? Let's come to our next news. Next news is about the sword of Raghuji Bhonsle. Okay, who is this Raghuji Bhonsle? Raghuji Bhonsle is the first Raja of Nagpur. Okay, so his sword is being restored by the Maharashtrian government. It was on the auction. So it was there in an auction in London. You need not to remember which auction was there, but you need to understand that we have restored this. We have successfully reclaimed this iconic sword of legendary Maratha warrior Raghuji Bhonsle I. But you should be knowing that who is this Raghuji Bhonsle and how it belongs to the house of how Marathas confederation in your Nagpur region. So this 18th century sword of Raghuji Bhonsle, he is a legendary Maratha general and founder of the Nagpur based Bhonsle dynasty. So you should be knowing that why there are so many different groups in Maratha. So look at this map, let me be a bit clear about it. We all know that Marathas, they originated obviously in the western Maharashtra, but by the 18th century they have spread almost till almost near to your Delhi also. They are the one who are fighting the third battle of Panipat anyway, and they have reached to the to these far flung areas also. They originated from the Maharashtrian region, but they are going to very far flung areas also. So how they did that? So actually they were not the one who were concentrated on one part. So there was an element of the autonomous regions within the Maratha groups only. So there were different Maratha groups. For example, if you look at this particular map, you can see that the Bhonsles, Raghuji Bhonsles की बात करेंगे, तो he was there in Nagpur. So he was Nagpur based. So he is the one who actually won this much part for Marathas. Okay, so Bengal में, उड़ीसा में, बिहार में, इन सब एरियाज से जो लैंड कॉन्कर की है वो किन्होंने की थी, ठीक है, रघुजी भोंसले and his descendant, and he is the one who is going to start this particular house. So just like house of Bhonsle, we have house of Scindia also, we have houses of Holkar, we have house of house of Gaikwad also, and we have Peshwas in Pune. Okay, so I hope you know that. If you don't know that, you should be knowing that there were different groups of Maratha. majorly they did not, they were not the united one, but obviously during the battle of Panipat they were the one who were united. Sometimes they used to fight with each other, but sometimes they were with each other also. So how? Obviously here was the central administration. Central administration जो है Marathas का, it was actually spreading from the Pune only, who were there in the Pune. In Pune there were Peshwas. Peshwas are actually the nominal head of the Marathas. सिर्फ nominal head नहीं है, head तो है Marathas की. His influence is there over all the Maratha Sardar also. But obviously these Maratha Sardars had their own autonomy as well as, ठीक है. जैसे अगर हम रघुजी भोंसले की बात करेंगे, he belongs to House of Bhonsle. So this whole area which you can see in the blue color, this whole area belonged to him only, and the right to extract Chauth and Sardeshmukhi from this area was the right of the Raghuji Bhonsle. Only little bit part of was going to give to the center. Center को उसका बस थोड़ा सा part मिलता था. Majority of part was being kept by them. They could even wage war without even asking the center. Center को बिना पूछे they could actually attack the Nawab of Bengal also, and they did also. ठीक है? They are the one who actually captured the Odisha region for the Marathas. So you can see that Marathas at that point of time were there in the Gujarat also, they are there in the Odisha also, they are there in most of your Madhya Pradesh as well as, right? So this is how they actually had almost an empire-like structure during your 18th century. Okay? So when Shivaji is there at that point of time, we don't have these different autonomous Maratha groups. But in 18th century, after that, especially during the rise of the Peshwa, the rise of Peshwa is also parallelly during in Marathas, the rise of Peshwa. This event is parallel to the event of the rise of these other houses of the Marathas as well as. Now our another news is related to Ahilya Bai Holkar. Okay? So she is Ahilya Bai Holkar. This particular ticket is there to commemorate Ahilya Bai Holkar's 300th birth anniversary. So she was actually born in 1725, and now we have 2025. So there are 300 years. Now let's understand who she is. So we have already seen the map, and in that map there were Holkars also. Let me look at the map. So this is the map, and here you can see that there is a house of Holkars also, okay, with Indore their capital. Indore is their capital. This is the house of Holkar. So she also belongs to the Marathas only. Okay? She is also a Maratha. But why a woman? How a woman became a warrior, and what is the role of Ahilya Bai Holkar in general in our history? So she is the one who actually, you need not remember where she was born, but you should be remembering that she is actually the daughter-in-law of the Malhar Rao Holkar. Okay? So Malhar Rao Holkar is the king of the Indore at that point of time, and his son died. ठीक है, उनके बेटे की भी मृत्यु हो जाती है, और उनके grandson is also no more there. So there is no one to rule after him. So Ahilya Bai Holkar is going to come into the scene, and she is the one who is going to take the leadership of the Holkars, right? So she is going to take the leadership of the Holkar. So after the third battle of Panipat, there were so many rebellions. ठीक है, थर्ड बैटल ऑफ पानीपत जब हो जाता है, उसके बाद मराठास की जो पावर है वो क्या हो जाएगी, वीक हो जाएगी. ठीक है, सो द मोमेंट द मराठास आर वीक, ऑब्वियसली देयर विल बी सो मेनी रिबेलियंस. कौन होंगे उस टाइम पे? जो बिग जमींदार जागीरदार होंगे, they will try to have more and more territorial control. This was how the 18th century was. At that point of time, she is the key element who actually suppressed a lot of rebellions in the Indore area only. Okay, so she was a trained administrator, diplomat, and she was trained in accounts as well as in politics also. She was widowed early after the death of her husband Khande Rao. She chose life over sati on the persuasion of Malhar Rao. ठीक है, तो सती नहीं हुई है. She actually chose to live, and after the death of Malhar Rao, okay, she became the de facto ruler of Indore. Okay, and there was a military commander also to help her out. Okay, Tukoji Rao Holkar, but she is the de facto ruler. Capital establishment at Maheshwar in Madhya Pradesh. She is the one who is going to do that, and she is going to build a small fort also there. She is the one who personally led armies during rebellions after the third battle of Panipat. Okay, and she is the one who successfully defended Indore from the Chundavat clan of Jaipur as well as the regional uprising during the political instability. So she is the one who actually took sword in her hand also. She is actually a very good diplomat also, who is ruling the Indore after the death of Madhav Rao Holkar. Okay? So she is very iconic figure again in the history, and because there has been 300 years of her birth, and this is obviously, this particular event is very important for your UPSC examination. So these are the important news. So you should be remembering. Let's revise them again a bit. So this is your prehistoric site, and you should be knowing that this site belongs to your Paleolithic period. Then you should be knowing that the restoration in Rajon ki Bawali has been happened. Raman festival, it is a part of UNESCO's intangible site, and the Karni Mata temple, because our Prime Minister visited there. It is there in Rajasthan. Sword of Raghuji Bhonsle. Raghuji Bhonsle himself became important in general, and in general the Marathas became important. And Ahilyabai Holkar also, again another news related to Marathas, and we are celebrating a 300th birth anniversary of her. Okay. So this was all about this month's current affairs from history and art and culture, and we are going to be back with the next month's current affairs of art and culture and history also. Okay? So thank you so much. Have a very nice day.